We just had our second meeting.
Yep.
Right? With the immigration lawyer. We learned a lot of stuff. I don't know. You tell.
I feel like this time was the most positive.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. One is it was at 5:30 in the morning. There's a 9-hour time change, so our meetings have been anywhere from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. So we got very lucky today to not wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But basically, the last time we spoke to the immigration lawyer, they told me that it would be like 2 to 3 years to get my physical therapy degree to transfer. So I can't work for 2 to 3 years as a PT, which was not in the plans. And then we would have to go over as student visas.
Right. So that was our only option, was the student visa.
Which you can work up to 30 hours a week on a student visa. So I found if you're taking a master's or doctorate level class. So I found a master's in sports nutrition out of the University of Barcelona that she thinks is going to work. She's going to confirm the course. And that would allow Jordan to come over on my visa as well. And then I would be able to work up to 30 hours a week on it. And then after I graduate, we could transfer it into working residence permits in country without having to come back to the U.S.
Yeah.
So that was all positive news.
Yeah, no, that's good. The only negative side was that I can't work, which is unfortunate. So we're going to have to tap into a little more house money than we thought we were going to have to. But honestly, that's just the cost of starting over in a new country. I think that it's just going to cost a little more money than we thought. But luckily, with the sale of this house, we're in a good position to do that. So
yeah,
it is what it is. So I'll be taking the Spanish course, even though I'm not necessarily, I don't really have to. I need to because I don't know Spanish. So I'll be taking that, and he will be working and going to school. I won't be able to. So it's a little different. You know, every time we do a new meeting with these professionals, we find out a little bit more that we didn't know. But it's been super valuable to have these like professional, you know,
Yes.
between the immigration lawyer. We just talked yesterday about possibly a pet relocation agency that would streamline that process a lot. So having professionals on your side is super important.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you know, I read stuff online all the time about the consulates and this and that, and then we talk to them and it's not really the correct information.
Right.
And right now it's a little bit challenging because in this month they're changing the regulations for the visa process, especially the student visas. So the lawyers are even like, well, this is the process right now. We're not exactly sure what the new process is going to look like. The government hasn't released all of the new rules yet. So we have to kind of play this gray area and double check everything. So she's going to check to see. Word on the street is that the San Francisco consulate is one of the worst for processing times. I've checked every single day for almost 2 months now. There is 0 appointments.
Yeah.
So she's going to figure out if that should be our option, is to just keep checking and hope an appointment opens up, or if we can go over without a visa. You go as like a tourist and then you apply in country, and basically it'll take 5 to 8 months to get that visa in country, but because you have applied, you're not there illegally.
You can stay.
You can stay, but you can't, it's not that we care about it right away, but you can't leave the country with it, so you can't travel.
Right.
And you won't be able to get a residence card, so it's harder to rent an apartment or to get a bank account because they want to see that you're a legal resident and you have no proof.
So that would be tricky to do it in country, but it's a
possibility.
It's a possibility. Yeah.
So now she's just basically checking to double check that my class is going to work, to check with her colleagues on whether the San Francisco consulate is worth waiting for, or whether we should just come over this summer in person and do it in Spain. and then just making sure that we get our documents all in a row. Of course, there's different information. We'd already gotten our FBI background checks, which are like $1,000.
Yeah, we kind of jumped the gun a little bit on the FBI background checks, but like that's
because online the consulates say they're good for 6 months. So I was like, oh, okay, it'll be fine. And then she's saying in country they're only good for 3
months.
So I guess if we end up going to the consulate, they'll still be fine.
Right. So it depends on which route we go. If we're gonna go to the consulate or if we're gonna go do it in country. So yeah, we might have to redo some things, but that was expected, to be honest.
Which is another reason why we want to work with the professionals to check our application,
right?
As opposed to showing up to the consulate after waiting months for an appointment and then go,
like,
oh, right. Sorry, it's not right, and you're going to be in country. You know, now you're going to miss your class, and it's going to be 6 more months.
Right.
That we're stuck here.
Right. So it's not a very straightforward process. It's tricky. That's why having these professionals work for us or help us out has been so valuable.
And they're really affordable. Like
they really are.
Our 1 hour consult with the lawyer who works in Madrid is like €70, so like $75.
Yeah, it's way cheaper than
way
you would think
cheaper.
Like a lawyer would cost, right? Because they're in Spain. We're not dealing with American lawyers, which is nice.
I'm working with a separate lawyer to get my PT degree to transfer because it's like so many requirements and it's like a 3-year process, and the lawyer goes, just beware, I'm going to tell you the price. It's the price for all 3 years put together for everything we do. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to pay it. And they're like, it's going to be about $1,500.
Yeah, we
total.
were like,
oh, okay,
that's not so bad.
It's not so bad
For 3 years worth
for 3 years of
helping
work.
us out, yeah.
So we'll keep you guys updated. We're still smoothing out all the wrinkles in the plan, but looks like hopefully this class will work, and we'll hear back within the next week or so from the lawyer.
Yeah, so we'll let you know next time that we meet with the lawyer and give you an update.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later.